Let's Talk Kentucky. Happy Friday. I'm your host and moderator, Sherelle Roberts. And we got the Let's Talk team here. It's Susan Mills, Kim Dixon, and Lisa High. Happy Friday, y'all.
Happy Friday.
Woo. We made it.
Awesome.
My goodness.
It's been a long week.
It has been a
Why
long
are they?
week.
Yes.
It's felt really weird and really long.
I know.
Goodness. But we got here.
I didn't hear the go at the beginning, and I was still dancing on here. I was like, oh, wait, we got a show to do.
Lisa was dancing in the corner. That's why I love us and I love this show. Okay, so we're going to start off with something a little bit serious for our Talk of the Town. So Kentucky Senator Rand Paul voiced his displeasure with the name, image, and likeness laws. These laws allow college athletes to be compensated and benefit from the commercial use of their name, image, and likeness. Let's see what Senator Paul had to say.
Court ruled unanimously that the NCAA can't invoke their rules. And so they've completely screwed up college athletes. We used to be proud. Many of us loved watching amateur athletes that weren't paid. Now everybody that plays basketball in college is going to be driving a Bentley or a Rolls. I mean, we're going to be seeing rap stars instead of basketball stars. I mean, this is crazy. But you know why it happened? Because Congress sat around and said, oh, well, because of antitrust, we can't let the NCAA do it. It went to the court, and the court made the ruling, unfortunately, a unanimous ruling based on the law. So the law's got to change. Court ruled unanimously.
So he said the laws got to change. Thoughts, ladies?
Well, gosh, I mean, you know, there's parts of me that are like, yes, you know, they should be paid for what they do to an extent. I feel like there should be some sort of a cap, though. But also, what I'm worried about, I mean, the NIL is definitely going to be taking the attention away from education. And what I mean by that is I feel like the private investors or private funders and donors for these colleges are going to be donating or diverting some of their donations over to the NIL to help boost that up so we get the best athletes possible at our school. And I feel like it's going to take away from the education portion of the schools. That's just my thoughts.
I don't know about the education standpoint, but the reason this happened is because the NCAA couldn't get their act together. They couldn't see the writing on the wall, and so we were forced really for NIL. I mean, the EA Sports, they had the video game with all of the players' likenesses and stuff. So the EA Sports was going to be making a lot of money from players. And but I do think that the players should have some kind of money management program with that, because I kind of disagree. We can still be proud of the athletes that are playing. I don't think they're going to be driving around in Bentleys and Rolls Royces. I don't see that happening. But they need a money manager.
So I have to take a deep breath before this one, because this particular issue has been a racially fraught issue, which is why I had to crinkle my face a little bit when Senator Paul said we're going to have rap stars instead of basketball stars. Because in the African-American community, NIL has been something that we have been arguing for and fighting for a really long time, because it was felt like these young people who come from historically marginalized populations, mostly African-Americans, are offering their labor, or their labor is being exploited by these schools. The schools are making millions, the kids are getting nothing. And it's especially for African Americans, argument has been, there is no guarantee that you are going to go to the pros, so make your money while you can make it, especially if your labor is being exploited. And that was the feeling of many people.
100%. Everything you said, Sherelle, that the exploitation of this labor, so much money, and I had forgotten all about the video games, so much money is being made off of these players. It's not fair. I would not allow my likeness to be used for someone else without being paid. Why should these kids?
Yeah. So, whew,
We could talk forever.
We could.
I need to have my husband on the show for this.
Yes.
During the pre-show, we were fired up. We talked about this a whole lot. But I do hope that the government, the schools, and the players and the NCAA can come to some sort of agreement, because at the end of the day, they're making it about money. It's about the kids. It's about the student athletes. We've lost sight of that somehow.
Yeah.
Anyway. Like, let me get off my soapbox. Everybody stay with us. Coming up after the break, let's talk about it. Should domestic abusers be allowed to keep their guns?
Let's Talk Kentucky is brought to you by Critchfield Meats.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or get $5,750 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
Hi, this is Joseph with Rapid Fire Home Buyers. Do you have a house that's costing you too much time and money? Maybe a rental house, an inherited house you don't know what to do with, or the house you're living in that you just can't keep up with. We buy property in any condition and any price range all over the Southeast. Sell your house as is for cash with no repairs, no fees, and no commissions. If you're even thinking of selling your house, before you call a realtor, give us a call for a free cash offer. Call 859-695-3875.
What if we told you that every time you eat, get a new pair of shoes, buy the newest game, or really purchase anything, you could be adding to your savings? With Roundup Checking, every debit card purchase is rounded to the nearest dollar, and the rounded amount is automatically put into a savings account with interest. We'll even double your savings for the first 90 days, which means you could be growing your savings even while you're making the game-winning shot. The best checking account puts money back in your wallet. Apply for Roundup Checking today, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Hey y'all, it's Sawyer and Gus from Hicks and Funson. If you've been injured in an accident, you should call Mr. Josh and Old Dad Greg. Unlike that Florida attorney, they live here in Kentucky. We hope you never need them, but if you do, Hicks and Funson is here to help. Remember, folks, size doesn't matter. Results matter.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Kentucky. I'm Sherelle Roberts. We're here with the Let's Talk team, and it is time for the countdown conversation.
All righty.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one.
This is the part of the show where we talk about as many topics as we can in 6 minutes, and we've got some spicy ones for you today. Okay. So the Supreme Court is currently considering a case. There's a gentleman who has been convicted of domestic violence against his intimate partner, and as a result, his guns were taken away. He is suing, and that lawsuit has made it all the way up to the Supreme Court. He says that he should be allowed to have guns even though he is a convicted domestic violence abuser because of the Second Amendment. Well, I'm gonna go first on this one. You all know how I feel about the Constitution. The Second Amendment says that we have guns to protect ourselves from government tyranny, and that when we have guns, it should be a part of a well-regulated militia. That's what the Constitution says. It doesn't say you should be able to have a gun after you've abused someone domestically.
Right.
I'm not a Supreme Court justice. I am not rallying to be a Supreme Court justice, but I know that much.
Well, I'm not a Supreme Court justice either, but I don't think abusers should have access to a gun. Now, especially if they've demonstrated, because of the fact that they're an abuser, they've already shown that they have anger management issues, right? Mm-hmm. So why would we allow them to have a gun, especially like right during a domestic violent incident?
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense to me. If nothing else, we should restrict them from having guns for a certain amount of time until they've demonstrated that they are no longer abusing that particular person, whatever that situation is.
Or anybody.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is why I think there should be a mental health check before a gun can be sold. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is, we don't want to see, and I kind of think that that check should happen regularly because people change throughout their lives.
That's
There's
right.
no reason to give a weapon to someone who is already angry like that, that will use it against someone else that really could. They're convicted already.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a hard no for me on this. That, like Lisa said, they have demonstrated that they are not maybe emotionally intelligent enough. They cannot regulate their emotions. Just like other convictions, like with child predators, you know, they can't live within a certain distance of home. Like you said, there are consequences, and they should not be able to carry or have access to guns.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. On to the next one. So the Kentucky foster care system is in a bad place, and the governor spoke on it earlier this week. Evidently, there have been some kids who were not able to be placed in a foster care home after being taken in by protective services, and so they actually had to sleep at the government's protective service facility, which is an office building. The governor said this is not acceptable, and they want to do what they can to try to fix it. But gosh, how did we get here? Kids sleeping on cots, sleeping on air mattresses in government offices.
Oh, this is heartbreaking for me. It really is. This is it's gut-wrenching. I don't understand how we got here either, quite honestly. It should not be happening. Yes, it needs to be fixed. You know, can we not develop, you know, divert funding in some way to form a center for these children that haven't been placed yet? I just don't see how that's being overlooked or not addressed at this point.
So, you know, we have a legislative session coming up in January, and it seems like we have priorities for all of these other strange things related to kids and education. I would hope that our lawmakers would decide to allocate more money to social work and to child protective services, because your priorities are shown where you spend your money. And clearly, not with the kids.
The system is absolutely broken. I mean, there are not enough foster families, obviously. That's a problem. I know of a situation where a child died in foster care. And that happens. There's a lot of abuse and things like that that happen in child care. This whole system is broken and has to be fixed. I don't know what the answer is, but it's time.
Well, and it's not just one time that it happens, 2 times. This happens a lot. And I know of a particular situation locally that it happened. It was just absolutely heartbreaking with a special needs boy. And for these special needs kids, and the older you get, they're harder to place. I agree with Lisa. There needs to be a center for these kids. They deserve the love and the nurturing just like any other child too. And we need to make sure that we make it a priority.
Yeah, absolutely. Need to make it a priority. Okay, then last up, it's a crime fail. We love a good crime fail. We love talking about a good crime fail. Okay, so there was a fella. He decided to take part in the January 6th insurrection. And he decided, well, let me take a picture of myself because, you know, I want to remember this. And so his wife, posted the picture of him basically committing a crime, and the caption was, "I'm so proud of my husband," and then she tagged his name. And then the FBI was like, well, this is an easy case. And they got him. Thoughts?
I just could see, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall for the FBI agent who saw this. He's sitting there in the morning munching on his, you know, bagel, and he's like, this comes up on his screen. He's like, you know what, I think I'm gonna take this case today. It's gonna take all day to work this one out, to figure it out. It took him like 2 seconds, and he got the rest of the day off. How funny is that? You know, number one, I feel like this guy is gonna be in divorce court real soon with his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, how awful.
No. There is a certain privilege in being stupid. You know, that you can just not think about what I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to do this. Wait a minute, should I have done that?
Yeah.
It's like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. You know, I feel like he shouldn't have posed for the picture, so as much as on him and then her. This relationship is toxic.
That's going to be his pick on Match.com.
Oh my God.
You're that guy.
Wait a minute, I've seen you before on a milk carton.
Oh, no. Don't do it to me today. My makeup's holding up. Don't start. All right, everybody, that's the Countdown Combo. Stay with us. Coming up after the break, we'll talk about a plan to save an important piece of Kentucky history.
Let's Talk Kentucky is brought to you by Critchfield Meats.
Next, ET.
Welcome to Zambia.
Melissa Joan Hart's family mission, how the actor, her husband, and their 3 sons are giving back.
We can do so much good.
Next, ET.
Tonight at 7 on ABC 36.
Not again. You don't mess with underground power lines.
Should have contacted 811. They'll mark those utility lines free.
Yeah, but this guy ain't real bright.
Neither is the neighborhood.
Know what's below 811 before you dig.
Want a flatter, tighter tummy? Then check out new Ab EX from Sono Bello.
Doctor, after my pregnancies, my body just never bounced back. I had this stomach overhang that made me really self-conscious.
It's not your fault. That stubborn fat and excess skin is very difficult to get rid of with diet and exercise alone.
That's exactly why I went to Sono Bello. I really trust their team of experts, and I finally got the flat stomach I had always wanted.
Introducing Ab EX from Sono Bello. Remove fat and lose excess skin permanently in just one visit.
AbEX is a great alternative to a tummy tuck because that overhang you mentioned becomes flat and tight fast with minimal downtime.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation now to learn more about Ab EX by Sono Bello. Call 1-888-507-8988 or go to sonobello.com.
What a tool. He could hit a gas line.
Wait, he's contacting 811.
They'll mark the underground utilities free.
Turns out he is smarter than he looks.
Know what's below? 811 before you dig.
Here we go.
I want to prank my son.
That's a yes.
The mark is here.
Oh my God! How y'all going to hell?
That's for sure.
New The Prank Panel, Sunday on ABC.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm Sherelle Roberts. We're here with the Let's Talk team, and joining us at the table is Tiffany Brown from the Lexington Mayor's Office. Welcome! Hello!
Welcome.
Good to be here.
We're so glad to have you here. You are here to tell us about a new program to preserve land and landmarks in Lexington's and Fayette County's historic Black hamlets. Yes. So we talked a little bit about the hamlets in this project on Monday, but give us your insights.
Yes, so A Sense of Place is the name of the initiative. It is to celebrate and remember Lexington's historic Black hamlets, formerly known as, or also known as, free towns. They're the areas in our community that newly freed Black folks settled in once they were free from slavery. Mm-hmm. So they are very important parts of our county's history, and they've made all kind of contributions. These communities made so many contributions to the community, whether it be education, religious, agriculture, equine, all of those different industries. And so we feel it's important to uplift that story and remember and to preserve what we have left. So that's really the purpose of the initiative itself.
Yeah, very cool. So you all are raising funds from the community to basically make sure that this program is a success. Tell us about that process and how folks can get involved.
Sure, so there are a few things that need to be done, especially in Cadentown. There is one of the first, or one of the only last standing Rosenwald schools in the country. It's on the endangered list for most historic places. Oh. And so it opened in 1923, so it's over 100 years old, the school is. Wow. And it needs to be restored. There's some things that we need to do with that, and then the original church that's in front of it. There's some things that need to be done with that building as well. And then there's a cemetery behind the school that has over 100 people buried that needs to be surveyed. We need to do some other things to protect that green space. Yes. So the funds will go toward that. Several council members have donated already. Columbia Gas has made a donation, and then the Cadentown Missionary Baptist Church has made a donation as well. So we are up to $131,000 that we've raised with a campaign total goal of $500,000.
Now, you guys are raising funds for this. Are there other ways that people can become involved, like in the restoration process or anything like that? Sure.
So we are still doing some community engagement in Cadentown, and as well as the other hamlets. We've been to Jimtown. We'll be going to Uddingertown next. I know you all are familiar with Coleman Crest Farm. That's in Uddingertown, and Bracktown, Maddoxtown. So all of those free towns or hamlets, we're going and doing some community engagement, so please feel free to come out to those, offer input. We want to receive feedback from the community on how they feel their communities need to be honored and remembered, and then whatever initiatives we can help them with, we're there to offer support as well.
And you know, you mentioned Cadentown, and I know, I happen to know where that area is, but where are some of the locations of these hamlets in town so that people, because people might be driving by and not even realize that they're going through a historic area like that?
Yes, so Cadentown is very interesting because it used to be rural, but now it's urban. And so that's one of the reasons why we feel it's important to remember and celebrate and try to preserve as much as we can that history. You have Jonestown, which was the Takes Creek area, and that's no longer a hamlet. It's all developed. Then you have Maddoxtown, which is Ironworks Pike, Huffman Mill Road area. So there are some that are still rural, but a lot of them have been developed.
Yes.
And so it's important for us to kind of accumulate the history, artifacts, oral histories, and preserve that in such a way that we display that at the Cadentown Rosenwald School.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, Tiffany Brown, thanks so much for being here and sharing that really rich history with us. You taught us a lot today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody, stay with us. Coming up after the break, we have a really, really important Dear LTK question.
Let's Talk Kentucky is brought to you by Critchfield Meats.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
We've tallied the votes, and the results are in. Eye Consultants of Kentucky wins Best Eye Clinic and Best Medical Clinic in the ABC 36 Viewers' Choice Awards. Go to WTVQ.com for a full list of winners. And thanks for voting for the Eye Consultants of Kentucky.
At Rally's, I'm in the driver's seat. Let me get a $5 meal deal with a Rally Burger. Hold up, make it a bacon cheddar crisp. Cheesy? Yes, pleasey. Plus chicken bites, famous seasoned fries, and a drink for just $5. Actually, give me that cheddar Buford. Let's go. I'm talking cheese from top to bottom. Cheddar, better. Whatever you order, own it at Rally's. Get your late night flavor fix.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. If you have or are eligible for Medicaid, please listen closely. You may be eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan from WellCare with a zero or low plan premium. Call now. We can answer your questions and help you enroll over the phone. WellCare provides access to essential benefits that go beyond original Medicare, such as dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage with free home delivery. Free over-the-counter healthcare items, free groceries with a healthy food card, free gym membership, and home-delivered meals. Plus, extra benefits like more access to care with free transportation and WellCare's telehealth services, including online doctor visits. WellCare is contracted with Medicare to provide plans that may be perfect for you. Call 1-877-281-9602. Now, that's 1-877-281-9602. WellCare, Medicare done well.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the show. So we have a Dear LTK question. Dear LTK is the segment in our show where men who are our viewers, who we love and appreciate, send us a question and we answer it for them. So here's today's question. Dear LTK, I'm the friend of a woman who is in a toxic relationship. It hurts me to see her go through what she does. How can I be a friend to her without overstepping my boundaries? I feel like I can't abandon her, but I also can't stand to watch this happen and see her cry about it all of the time. Man, this is a tough one.
Well, I think that you absolutely should be supportive of your friends or family that are going through something like this. I think you have to be 100% honest with them. You know, explain to them why it hurts you to see them in this kind of relationship. But I also think that you should also protect yourself too. And in this type of situation, it sounds like she may be relying on him to provide her that emotional support that her partner should be giving to her. he needs to protect himself too, and be honest with her about this. You know, like, I can help you go get therapy if you need therapy. I'm gonna be here to support you, but I need to protect myself too.
That's a good one. Yeah. I think the person who sent this question said they didn't want to overstep their boundaries. Yeah. I don't think you are, because this friend has already included you, has made you a part, basically using your emotional labor. There is no boundary here, so you are free to talk about it.
Yeah. I feel like she's almost using her friend, you know, like with what you just said. Like, she's using him to get through these toxic times with her boyfriend, and then, you know, continuing on. It just continues the toxic relationship. It keeps going down the line, instead of, you know, him finally saying, you know, I have to start backing away. I have to protect myself. So I think you do have to start distancing at some point.
I appreciate this man's concern for his friend, though. This is a very difficult thing for some men to express and to approach. This is probably not the easiest thing for him to approach and see her point of view. So I really do applaud him for trying to take care of his friend and for being concerned.
Yeah. So we want to thank that viewer for sending in the question. And guys, you can send us any question anytime. All right, we like to end every show with our woman we're talking about. And today's woman we're talking about is Trisha Clement Montgomery. She serves as the Dean of Students at the University of Kentucky. In this role, she oversees various parts of the out-of-classroom community at the University of Kentucky, more specifically residence life, fraternity and sorority life, student conduct, the Center for Support and Intervention, and student organizations and activities. She is dedicated to advocating for the needs of students while simultaneously working to ensure that all students from various backgrounds feel welcome and they feel a sense of belonging at the University of Kentucky. So, Trisha Clement Montgomery, you are a woman we're talking about.
Love that.
She's got a lot on her plate.
She does. What a responsibility.
That's not a hard
job. That's an adult job right there.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, one of the things I think that she has is when a student is having a really hard time, mental health issues or something like that, there's a center, there's intervention that they can go through, and that is a very important office at the university.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, folks, please nominate a woman in your life that you believe is a woman worth talking about. Go to WTVQ.com, then go to the Let's Talk page, then click on the link to nominate a woman. We want to hear about it.
That's right.
All right, everybody, happy Friday. Get out there and have some fun. It's going to be a good weekend.
It is.
Woo! Find a pool.
Bye, y'all.